The Deep Dark, limited Halloween 3 Tom Atkins action figure, and a Lucio Fulci video game. All on this Monday edition of
Spill the Guts.
I like it spooky.
Hello and welcome. My name is Clint, and I am one half of the I Like It Spooky Horror podcast, which brings you a feature episode every other week, monthly Crackle and Redbox streaming app rundowns, this tri-weekly horror news blitz roundup every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and even extra material along the way, like the short bonus episode that released yesterday, where co-host Brian talks with the crew of the Orpheum Theater in Galesburg, Illinois, about their upcoming After Dark Film Fest and special double feature screening of Next of Kin and Strange Behavior, aka Dead Kids, in cooperation with Severn Films and the I Like It Spooky Horror podcast. That screening event takes place on Saturday, October 14th, but today is Monday, August 28th, and this just in. All stories today come to us from BloodyDisgusting.com, and the first one up to start our week is about the French horror movie that looks like My Bloody Valentine meets a creature feature in the deep dark. Up next from French filmmaker Mathieu Thury from Hostel and Meander is The Deep Dark, which looks to be headed to theaters in France beginning on November 29th of this year. We don't yet have any idea when the film will be released here in the United States, but a French trailer for The Deep Dark has surfaced this week. The Deep Dark is said to have Lovecraft vibes, and at the end of the trailer teases some kind of skeletal creature. This My Bloody Valentine meets Lovecraftian creature feature is set in 1956 in the north of France. A band of underground miners is forced to lead a professor to take samples 1,000 meters underground. After a landslide prevents them from going back up, they discover a crypt from another time and unknowingly wake up something that should have remained asleep. In a recent statement, Thury said, quote, "The Deep Dark, Jules Nourris." Sorry, my French is rusty. Alright, it's non-existent. Will be a mix of horror and adventure in the best tradition of H.P. Lovecraft stories, but set in a French reality with a strong social context. After Meander, I'm lucky enough to work again with full-time studio on this crazy project I deeply love. It's going to be a character-driven story confronting the old and new generations in an exciting and terrifying quest to the unknown. If that description wasn't enough to make you excited about Deep Dark, I will share a link to this Bloody Disgusting article, which includes a trailer to The Deep Dark, on the I Like It Spooky Horror Podcast Facebook page.
In the end, we don't decide these things, you know. The planets do. They're in alignment. Happy Halloween.
Next up is about NECA's limited run of a Tom Atkins Halloween 3 action figure exclusively available at H45. This year marks the 45th anniversary of John Carpenter's game-changing horror classic Halloween, and the special event Halloween 45 Years of Terror is set to take over Pasadena, California in celebration from September 29th through October 1st of this year. For this special event, NECA has worked with Tom Atkins and Sean Clark to whip up a limited edition action figure of Dr. Chalice, Tom Atkins' character from Halloween 3. NECA had previously released a limited action figure of Tom Atkins' character from Night of the Creeps, and the Halloween 3 figure reuses the head sculpt from that release. Clark has revealed on Facebook that only 1,000 of the action figures have been made, and you'll only be able to get one at the upcoming 45 Years of Terror event. Sold exclusively at H45, first come, first served, Clark writes. He also notes there will not be pre-orders on these, and that this figure is one of many convention exclusives, as more will soon be announced. I will not be attending H45 this fall, but if anybody I know is going, please pick one of these up for me. And now it's that time once again to pause for station identification and hear from our podcast network, the PFPN.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal, providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.
Last story of the day is about a Fulci-inspired game coming to consoles next month. The Dead Rise for Revenge and Puppet Combo's retro-style video game Night at the Gates of Hell, which we've learned is coming to consoles on September 8th of this year. From Torture Star Video, who brought us Night at the Gates of Hell and Rewind or Die, and Black Eyed Priest from Bloodwash and Tonight It Follows, the game was previously available only on Steam. Night at the Gates of Hell combines the 1980s Italian zombie aesthetic of Lucio Fulci with nail-biting survival horror gameplay. Players must navigate desolate Mediterranean cities in search of clues, weapons, and items to make an escape. Encounters range from crazed cultists to flesh-hungry zombies to massive abominations. All must be taken down with extreme precision because only headshots kill these maggot-filled monsters. The game features 85 unique zombie models. You won't encounter the same zombie twice. First-person survival horror gameplay. The gore you've come to expect. PS1-style low-poly graphics. A 70s-inspired disco soundtrack. And is fully voice-acted. Can you survive the zombie apocalypse, or will you end up being just another walking corpse? Find out when Night at the Gates of Hell comes to PS4 and 5 and the Nintendo Switch on September 8th. And that's a wrap on your Monday news. Don't forget that you can connect with the I Like It Spooky Horror podcast on all mainstream social media platforms and to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss a thing, like the short bonus feature released yesterday from the stage of the Orpheum Theater in Galesburg, Illinois. Be sure to listen into that and then join me back here this coming Wednesday for more news on another edition of
Spill the Guts.
Hey, what's wrong with you, man? Show some fucking respect for the dead, will ya?